Breaking news that has the entire WWE universe in absolute shock. Adam Pearce has made a decision so explosive, it's sending shockwaves through Monday Night Raw. Bronson Reed, fired. And what led to this nuclear fallout will blow your mind. Let's break this down right now. What's up, Suplex Rumble family? Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the most electrifying wrestling news and analysis in the game. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell because you do not want to miss moments like these. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most controversial decisions in recent WWE history. This is huge, folks. Let's get into it. Alright, let me set the stage for you. For weeks, we've been watching Bronson Reed absolutely demolish everyone in his path. This man is a force of nature, a human wrecking ball, and he's made it crystal clear that he's here to make an impact by any means necessary. Now, Bron Breakker, the powerhouse second-generation superstar, has been on an absolute tear himself. We're talking about a collision course between two of the most physically dominant athletes in all of professional wrestling. These guys aren't just wrestlers, they're apex predators. But here's where things took a dark turn. The attack we witnessed wasn't just a heated rivalry boiling over. This wasn't a competitor pushing the envelope in pursuit of championship gold. According to reports and what we've seen unfold, Bronson Reed took things to a level that crossed every line WWE officials were willing to tolerate. We're talking about an assault so vicious, so relentless, that it left Bron Breakker in a condition that had medical staff rushing to the scene. Multiple tsunamis. The big man showed absolutely no mercy, and importantly, this happened in a context where the match was over, the competition had ended, and what followed was pure, unadulterated brutality. Now, we've seen intense rivalries before. We've seen superstars push boundaries. But there's a difference between telling a compelling story and genuinely putting your fellow performer in harm's way beyond what's acceptable in this business. And that's the line Bronson Reed reportedly crossed. Let's talk about Adam Pearce for a moment, because this man has one of the toughest jobs in WWE. As the Raw general manager, Pearce has to balance entertainment, competition, maintaining order, and most importantly, the safety and well-being of every superstar on the roster. Think about the pressure he's under. On one hand, WWE is sports entertainment. Controversy creates conversation. Intense rivalries draw eyeballs. The WWE Universe loves when superstars push the limits and create those unforgettable moments that we talk about for years. But on the other hand, Pearce has a responsibility. He's not just booking matches for our entertainment, he's managing real human beings who put their bodies on the line every single night. These athletes have families. They have careers that extend beyond any single feud or storyline. When Bronson Reed's attack on Bron Breakker crossed from storytelling into something potentially dangerous, Pearce found himself at a crossroads. Does he let it slide and risk setting a precedent that this level of violence is acceptable? Does he issue a fine or suspension, which might feel like a slap on the wrist for such a serious incident? Or does he make the nuclear option decision and terminate Bronson Reed's contract? According to the reports coming out, Pearce chose the latter. He fired Bronson Reed. Now, this is where it gets fascinating from a sports entertainment perspective. We have to ask ourselves, is this a legitimate termination, or is this part of a larger storyline? In WWE, the lines between reality and entertainment are deliberately blurred. That's part of the magic of professional wrestling. But if we take this at face value, if this is Adam Pearce making a kayfabe decision as the authority figure within the WWE universe, it tells us something important about the standards being set on Monday Night Raw. Let's give Bronson Reed his flowers for a moment, because regardless of how this situation unfolds, we need to acknowledge what this superstar has brought to WWE. Bronson Reed is an anomaly. This is a man who weighs over 300 pounds but moves with the agility of someone half his size. When he hits the tsunami splash from the top rope, the entire ring shakes. We're talking about one of the most devastating finishers in the entire company, and he doesn't just hit it once, he hits it multiple times. Since returning to WWE, Reed has been on an absolute mission. He's attacked legends, he's taken out rising stars, and he's made it abundantly clear that he's not here to make friends, he's here to make a statement. The intensity he brings is something special. In an era where we've got incredible athletes doing things we've never seen before, Bronson Reed stands out because he combines old-school monster heel psychology with modern athletic ability. He's terrifying, he's unstoppable, and he's been incredibly effective at making the WWE Universe feel genuine concern for whoever steps in his path. His feud with Bron Breakker made perfect sense. You've got two powerhouses, two guys who refuse to back down, two competitors who thrive on physicality and dominance. It was a collision course that needed to happen. But here's the thing about playing the monster heel character, there's a fine line between being the guy everyone loves to hate and being the guy who goes too far. Reed's character is built on pushing limits, on being uncontrollable, on being the kind of threat that even management can't fully contain. Well, he might have just proven his character right, because if Adam Pearce legitimately couldn't control him, if the attack on Bron Breakker was so severe that termination was the only option, then Bronson Reed succeeded in being exactly what his character promised, an uncontrollable force of destruction. Now, let's shift our focus to Bron Breakker, because he's the victim in this scenario, and we need to talk about what this means for his trajectory in WWE. Bron Breakker is a star, plain and simple. Second-generation superstar, son of Rick Steiner, nephew of Scott Steiner, and he's got all the tools to be a main event player for the next decade. The intensity, the athleticism, the look, the family legacy, everything about Bron Breakker screams future WWE champion. His rise on Raw has been nothing short of spectacular. We've watched him steamroll through competition, and when he was put on a collision course with Bronson Reed, the WWE Universe was salivating for that confrontation. But now, in the aftermath of Reed's assault, we have to wonder about Breakker's status. Is he injured? Will this keep him out of action? And perhaps most intriguingly, how will Bron Breakker respond to this when he returns? Because here's what I know about the Steiner family: they don't forget, and they don't forgive easily. If Bronson Reed thinks that getting fired is the end of this story, he might want to think again. In wrestling, some of the best storylines come from real consequences and genuine emotion. If Bron Breakker was legitimately hurt by Reed's attack, the fire for revenge when he returns will be absolutely nuclear. We could be looking at a feud that extends beyond Raw, beyond WWE programming, into something personal and intense that captivates the entire wrestling world. And let's be honest, a returning Bron Breakker seeking revenge on Bronson Reed? That's money. That's the kind of storytelling that creates unforgettable moments. So here's the million-dollar question: Suplex Rumble family, what happens next? If Bronson Reed is legitimately fired within the storyline, does he show up anyway? Do we get an invasion angle? Does he attack Adam Pearce? Does he continue his assault on Bron Breakker despite being terminated? Some of the most compelling wrestling stories happen when a superstar refuses to accept authority's decision. Stone Cold Steve Austin built a career on defying Mr. McMahon. CM Punk's pipe bomb worked because he operated outside the normal structure. Could Bronson Reed become that kind of chaos agent? Or does WWE keep him off television for a while, let the heat build, and bring him back for a massive return where he immediately targets either Pearce, Breakker, or both? There's also the possibility that this is leading to a stipulation match. Maybe Pearce agrees to reinstate Reed if he competes in a match against Bron Breakker with specific terms. A career versus career match? A Falls Count Anywhere street fight where anything goes? The possibilities are endless. And we haven't even discussed the championship implications. Both of these guys are main event level talents who should be in the conversation for top titles. Does this derail their momentum, or does it actually enhance their profiles because now everyone's talking about them? What I love about this situation is that it creates genuine uncertainty. We don't know exactly where this goes, and that unpredictability is what makes wrestling appointment viewing television. Alright, Suplex Rumble family, that's my breakdown of this absolute bombshell news. Adam Pearce firing Bronson Reed after that vicious attack on Bron Breakker is the kind of moment that will have consequences for weeks, maybe months to come. But now I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was Adam Pearce right to fire Bronson Reed? Did Reed go too far? And what do you think happens next in this explosive situation?